Welcome back to the channel, guys, and today we have been sent a smart mirror by Seicane. Now let's unbox it, have a look and see what's in there, and then we'll fit it to a car and see what it performs like. We're Mark and V, and this is our adventures. Let's open up the box and see what we've got inside. Right, so first of all, we got the mirror. It's quite a nice size to it. Right. Now you remember I fitted one of these to our VW Sandhurst a while back, and they all come with a built-in dash cam. And they have these strap-on loops. Now I do know that you can buy fixings from AliExpress that will mount these like a proper mirror if you so desire. Looking at the bottom of the mirror, I'll take it that is the bottom, yes. Looking at the bottom of the mirror, we have an SD card slot, we have an auxiliary slot, we have an AV slot, that would be for our rear dash cam. Or front dash cam, well it won't be front dash cam, will it be rear dash cam, and a USB-C adapter. So we'll be able to power this up here at the desk. Let's see what else we got in the box. So we have a USB-C car charger, we have a trim tool for when we want to put our cables, we have a audio cable, we have some rubber connectors that go around our original mirror so we can fix them to the mirror, and some little cable tidies, sticky cable tidies. And in the other bag we have a reversing camera, a little sticky tab if you wanted to stick it on, but we wouldn't, I don't think we'll be doing that, and a length of cable. Now the connector, most are going for this new or newer version of the small connectors now, which sadly makes them incompatible with some of the older dash cams, or older reversing cams on camper vans. So you'd have to change completely right the way through. But we're not worried about that. We're looking at the performance of the actual unit at the moment. And we've got a few sticky tabs in there. And then a handbook. You know, handbook there. Like always, that's the thing I'll resort to last. But I think first thing we can do is we can power up the unit actually here on the desk. So that's what we'll do next. So I've got a cable plugged into my PC for power. I'm going to plug him in and let's see the first boot up. So what we'll do now is we'll set the unit up while we're on the bench. Okay, now we're going to set up on the bench, and although I said I was going to not use the manual, I thought it'd be interesting to look through the manual as well. So we can see, hopefully we can see the whole, all the information we need here. We're going to press home so you can see it on the main screen. You have CarPlay, Android Auto, DVR, playback, and audio output. So we go to the next one. What is the brightness? So obviously we can control the brightness, and it's touch sensitive. So you've got the brightness, you've got your volume, again touch sensitive, so we can turn it up or turn it down as much as we want. And then we got settings. Now in the settings, we'll go from top to bottom, working left to right. So we start off with auto dimming. So in there you can see we've got auto dim in. We can set the night brightness, and we can set the times that the night brightness starts. So you could say whatever time you want. You say it gets dark at 8 o'clock and daylight is again at 6 o'clock in the morning. There you are. So we can have it set like that. We can have auto dim in if we want, or on or off. The next one is a screensaver. So we can have screensaver off, come on after 10 seconds or 30 seconds. My preference would be to leave that off. And you notice if I click away from a menu, it takes us to the main screen again. Driving position. This is whether we're a left-hand drive or right-hand drive. Well, in the UK, we're right-hand drive. Split screen mode. So you can see there how we can view different things on this mirror. Now, I would personally like to see as much of the rear view mirror as possible. Other people may not, so I will leave it at that, but you can opt for either one. It's a shame it's not adjustable, really. Next is assistive touch. So here we are, an assistive touch. And what assistive touch is, it's a virtual on-screen button on iPhones, iPads, or even iPod, if you've still got one, that provides access to various functions and settings without the need to press the physical buttons. So that gives you an idea what assistive touch is. We'll leave it on. Clear connections. Well, at the moment we haven't got any connections, so if we were to clear connections, that would just confirm that anything connected previously is now being disconnected. So we move across. Resolution for the record. Now, I don't know about you, but I always like to have the best. So I would always have 4K, but obviously it takes more space on your memory card. However, memory cards are cheap these days, aren't they? So do we really need to worry? I don't think so. And just for a note, there was not an SD card in the box, so you would need to get yourself an SD card. Split time. Now, that is how long you're recording for. Whether you want it every minute, every 3 minutes, or every 5 minutes. Now, bear in mind that when this is happening, you will end up with lots and lots of files if you go for the 1 minute compared to the 5 minute. So that's entirely down to you. Again, I like the larger files. Personal preference. Microphone. Now, we haven't got anything plugged in at the moment, but we will need a microphone if we're talking to it. So I've enabled that. The rear view image. So we'd obviously want a rear view image if you want to use it like a mirror. So we're turning that on. The reversing camera calibration. Now, we're not going to be able to do that until we're in the car and we've got it connected. But that's how you do it. And you can literally just calibrate your reverse in there. So we'll cancel that. Language, well, we're reading it in English, so we don't need to change it. There's Chinese, I presume. 2 different versions of Chinese, maybe? That looks... No, they are different, aren't they? They are different. So 2 different versions of Chinese. The tip sound, you can hear just bip, bip. If I turn that off, you can't hear anything. Sometimes it's just nice to have that little confirmation that you've actually touched it. And voice control. So there's a command. You can show front camera, show rear camera. Oh, and there it is. Show rear camera. Show front camera. And if I was to, you can just about see my hand underneath there. There, you can see my finger moving. And that's your voice control. So that... Oh, there's another row. So we have date and time. So today is the 3rd of June 2025. And current time. Oh. Current time is 2:52. Now if we switch on the 24-hour system, then we'll confirm that. Then we can format the memory. Where do we get to? Voice control, storage info. We've got no card in there at the moment, so obviously we can't read that. We will put a card in a minute. You can format the card, do a factory reset, and then look at the firmware version. Okay, so we're back at the home screen and we'll be connecting to my Apple phone. So if I can bring my phone, can we see my phone that side? No, we can't. So I'll bring my phone to the side of the unit. And the first thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to go into CarPlay. Then we're going to have to Bluetooth on and connect to the Bluetooth. So I would presume you can see two devices there, my Osmo Action that I'm actually filming with and a T86B BB3A, which I'm presuming is the mirror. So we're going to connect that one and see what happens. And we got a pairing request, although we don't see a pairing request on the mirror, but we're going to try it. So we're going to allow. So hopefully we're pairing with my mirror. Or I've got another device in this room I didn't know about. And there we are. So it's paired. And there we got Apple CarPlay. Interestingly, the phone still thinks it's pairing. So it might be transferring a bit of information across. So there we are. That is completely paired. So now I'll take the phone away because we don't really want to be using the phone. Just like you would have in any Google Play, you have the ability to change the way the screen looks. Make a phone call if we wanted to. So I could phone V. You've got controls over the home, sound, brightness, and take a photo. I presume that is, so we can try it. Now it just goes to the camera. So we'll go back to home, go back to CarPlay, go back to that one, and there we are. I think it's working really, really quite slick actually. I'm quite impressed with that. Now, I suppose the next thing I need to do is I need to get a memory card and insert that. So that's the next thing we will do. Okay, so we've loaded a memory card into the unit now. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go home, to settings, to format, confirm, and that's the card loading up now. We're back to home. We see we've got CarPlay loaded and we just go back in. Now I think you're going to agree that is really, really slick. Very, very nice. I've had one of these before. I had a different model, smart mirror, and it was quite clunky. Very clunky in fact to use. Now that is lovely. I really like it. I think the only thing you might find a bit of difficulty in is when you're driving, actually managing to touch the right controls. But you shouldn't need to touch it much after you're moving, should you? However, if you want to use it as a rear view mirror, this is where your problem's going to be, isn't it? So we go home again. Now in the settings we saw a setting for the split screen. And let's put the split screen on that one. Go back home. Right, that's a little bit better, isn't it? Because what we have now, I don't know if I can do this very easy. Yeah, I can. Yeah, you can see that. So you've got your front dash cam. Now, maybe if we're really, really clever, we could switch that to the rear cam. Oh, that's so you could have faux camera there, but you wouldn't be able to see your navigation, would you? And what else do we have here? Take a photo. Yeah, taking photo. Locked video. Unlocked video. Let's take photo home. What's that one there? That takes us back to CarPlay. So press that one again. We go to. So that switches. Oh, I see. That's a phone icon there. That's our microphone. So we got microphone on or off. And that one there would take us to our recorded videos. So if we were to play that, although we've got nothing to record at the moment, have we? So we'll go in there. So there you are. You can see it's actually working. So far, so good. I'm liking this a lot. So we're going to go back home. So that's CarPlay. Now, Android Auto, I've just put an Android phone on charge, so we will come back to that. You can see the DVR is actually recording, and that's what we were doing when we were going between. We're going to DVR, so we're going to the camera. Now, it'd be nice to know that we could switch between two different cameras. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect the rear view camera up while we're still in this situation. So we'll come back when that's connected. Okay, so I've connected the camera up now, and you can see it there. This is for demonstration purposes, obviously. So you can see the camera there as well. So we go into DVR again, and you can see in DVR we have obviously the rear camera, which is that one there, and we have the front-facing camera, the dash cam, should we call it there. If I tap on the screen again, can we change between views? So I presume stop recording. So that takes us into. That's not what I wanted to do. So if I take a photograph. You can slide left and right. So slide to the left, you get your front-facing camera. Slide to right once, and you got your two cameras. And slide again to the right without knocking the camera, and you have your rear view camera, which if you got that positioned in the right place, that would be like having a rear view camera. So that is really good. Now, if people who've got motorhomes who want a really nice setup for reversing, I think, because you would have your cameras mounted halfway up the back of your vans, I think this is a really, really good solution. Especially if you abandon the rubber tags and go for the proper brackets that are available on AliExpress. Now, I would say it's a shame that people who manufacture cameras like Seicane, and there are other manufacturers as well, don't just come and make an alternative bracket that fits to their unit so you could mount it in your vehicle. However, that aside, I'm really liking this unit. So that is, we're going to go back to home. So we've done CarPlay, we've done DVR. Now if we were to go to playback, we then go into video, and we can see all the videos that have been recording. Come down through them. And that's perfectly fine, isn't it? So I'm happy with that. So let's go back to the home page. So all we have left now is we have audio output, and we have Android Auto. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go into the Android Auto. CarPlay is connected, so we cannot connect to it. So you cannot have two together, which is a good thing. So we're going to stop, disconnect the phone, and come back with Android Auto. So I've now gone into Android Auto. I've got my Android phone next to me here. Trusty old Android. It's quite a few years old now. I'm going to connect to the Bluetooth. You can obviously see the camera working at the moment, and you can see I'm going into Android Auto. So I'm going to pair. Now hopefully it's connected. Right, continue. And there we are. I think we've connected to Android Auto. So if I go there, you've got the different views, and there's our maps. And if I wanted to go to, I don't know, London. That's going to be quite difficult, isn't it? Typing on here. But you would do it on your phone, you wouldn't do it on here. So we're going to go to London, just say for instance. No results found. London don't exist. I think it's because I'm not connected. I haven't got a SIM or anything in that phone. So we won't worry too much about that. But you can see Android Auto is connected to it, lovely. And we have all our Android Auto bits and pieces. And I'd imagine, same again, can we do that? So with Android Auto, we don't seem to have the same control. Let's just go home. We go DVR. Right, so if we've got DVR, we do. I do like this, I really do like it. Go home, or you go into your Android Auto, which gives you a front camera or a rear camera. Okay, so you can slide between the two cameras and then their view. So yeah, that was me making a mistake there. Now, I'm really, really impressed. That's great. Now, the next thing is, let's have a look at some of the specs. So I'm going to come back and we'll talk about the specs. And I think what I'm going to do is, although I'm filming, I'm going to talk to you on that camera and we're going to talk about the specs. So we'll be back. Now, I've gone on to their website and I'm going to talk you through a few little bits and pieces of the specs, basically. The main chip in it is an all-winner V535 quad-core running at 1.5 megahertz. The display is 11.26 inches. I should be talking to that camera, shouldn't I? Resolution is 1920 by 440. It's got 2 gig ROM and flash memory of 8 gig. It's got a 2-watt loudspeaker built in and a microphone that's capable of 40 decibels. The front camera is 4K. The rear camera is 1080p. So this is 1080p you're actually seeing me on now. So the interesting thing is, I'm talking to that one there, but you're seeing it there. Strange, yeah, I know. But I just thought it'd make it interesting. So the view on the camera, the front camera has a view of 145 degrees, and the rear camera has an angled view of 170 degrees. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. I think that's going to cover you for everything you want. Let's go back. Just excuse me while I go back to the specs. It doesn't have GPS built in, but it does say it's optional. I'm not quite sure how you'd plug it in though, because it doesn't seem to be an adapter. I'm not sure if that's going to be an issue, because you'll be using GPS through your phone anyway for navigation. Your Wi-Fi is 2.4, 802.1b and G and N, and it's running a Linux operating system. You're all really, really excited about this, aren't you? But it's important to know. It does say it supports 18 languages as well. We only saw 3. So that's interesting. And it's got parking parking monitor support. No, we didn't see that, but I've just noticed there's an app you can download as well, so we'll be downloading the app and having a look at that in a minute. Voice control in Chinese, English, Japanese and Russian. And what else can we see there? The format, video format is H.264. Is there anything else you need? Operating temperature, 30 to 80 degrees C. Experimental value. That seems to be quite hot. So there you are, that's the bits and pieces. Price wise, I believe it was about $109 on their website. I'm just having a look now. It's $109. I think that's really good. I'm liking it. I really am liking it, and I'm not just saying it. They did send it to me for free, and they asked me to do an honest review on it. And I haven't put it in the car yet, have I? It might change when I get it in the car, but so far so good. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to disconnect from Android Auto. I am then going to install the app on my iPhone, because that's the phone I use all the time. And then once I've done that, we're going to come back and we're going to have a look at the app. We'll do some screen recording as well, so you can see what's going on as well. Now, interestingly, I already had the app installed because I've tested one of their units before on a bike. So I'm just connecting to the Wi-Fi here now, so I think I may have to reboot this unit because obviously it thinks it's still connected to Android Auto by the looks of it. Yes, it does. So what we're going to do is we're going to reboot it. Just rebooted the unit, and you can see my phone is beside me there, and we're waiting for CarLink to appear. So we're going to connect it to that Wi-Fi. And just in case you're interested, to reboot the unit, there's a button just there. So it's really easy to get to, in the driving position. So we're just trying to connect now. There's no indication on the actual head unit you're connecting, so I think we just got to wait and connect. And then we go back into the application, which is called Roadcam. Maybe we need to close that first. Connect to the Wi-Fi. As you can see, we're having difficulty connecting to the Wi-Fi on the mirror. It could be because I'm in the office at the moment and there's other devices around that's causing the issue. What we will do next is we will move into the car and rig it up in a temporary sort of scenario, because I've got plans for this unit. I think it's going in my next motorhome or camper van, whichever, but I really like it. So really, I couldn't say any more than that. So that's what we're going to do. The next time we're going to go into the car, get it all rigged up temporarily so we can test it in the car and take it out for a drive. I don't know quite how I'm going to mount the rear camera yet, but we will do it. So let's get down to the car. Okay, so I've been now trying for about 10-15 minutes to try and get this camera or this app to connect to the camera, and it's not happening. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to message them and see if they've got any solution, and if there is a solution I will tell you at the other end of the video, or the end of the video, not the other end, because we're in the middle, aren't we? But for now, as I said, we're going to go onto the car and rig it all up in the car. Well, here we are in the car, and like I said to you, I'm doing a temporary mounting, so you can see I've used the rubber clamps on the original mirror, and it goes round, and we're going to worry about the cabling in a minute. I'll show you what I do. Right, my first hatred of these cameras is the fact that because you've got a camera behind there, you have to sit to the left, so it doesn't fit over your mirror properly. Hence why I prefer to do a proper factory style install if I'm going to do it, like I did in my Sandest Auto Sleeper, and remove the rubber bracket holders and put a proper bracket holder on, like I told you can get from AliExpress. I think it makes it look so much more professional, and I really think Seicane should consider offering that as an option or extra at least. It would make such a difference. I know there's multiple different cars, but if you could just have something where you could do, or maybe even have links to where these clamps are for the mount to the windscreen properly. Right, niggle over. Okay, this is Future Mark here. I had a thought when I was editing the video, and I thought, I wonder if this camera, because I was complaining about it not fitting around the mirror properly, would slide, and with a little tiny bit of force you can move it that much. It's not a lot, but it might just clear your mirror. Now the next thing we can do, I just want to show you some other bits and pieces you can do when you're in the car. Now I'm gonna have to come down to my stereo and I want to put on, we've got FM radio, and I'm going to turn the volume right down. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to show you something. I want to go to audio output and I want to come to FM, and you can see I've got it on 106, so it's broadcasting on 106. So I'm going to go all the way up to 106. You come down here, you can see I'm going to go all the way up to 106. Hopefully it's going to pick it up now. Oh no, it didn't. So we're just going to... Sometimes these do not want to go properly today, so can we do it this way? We can. Sometimes these screens ain't the best, are they? But right, let's just take that one up by one more. 106.1. Now, in theory, if that's connected to my phone, and I now go into some music, I'm going to use Epidemic Sound because I can't use other music. Okay, we got maybe an issue here because, as you can see, I've got CarPlay on there. But I wonder if we can still show you the music. What you should be able to do is go to there. No, I won't be able to, will I? We're gonna have to try and find a car without Apple CarPlay in it to show you this works, and that's going to be a problem because every one of my vehicles have got Apple CarPlay. We have a small issue. I might have to borrow my daughter's car, I don't know. Anyway, that's beside the point. What you can do there is you can tune in to your FM and then it comes out of your car stereo. I've done it before. Okay, now this is Future Mark here, and I've just come up with a bit of an idea to prove to you that the FM transmission does work. Now, back on the bench, I've got the unit, I've got an old FM radio, and I've got my phone. So first of all, let's play some music. So there we are, there's the music coming out of my phone. So pause that. Now we're going to power up the unit. So there we are, we can see it powering up. And that, when that powers up, we will just turn Bluetooth on my phone. Back to the music. And now you can see it's playing, but no sound's coming out. So now we're going to go home. Oh, we can even see the FM there. So you've got FM, it's already broadcast on an FM because I've set it up on 106. Now if we come over, now this is, hopefully you can see this, I'm going to turn the radio on. And it's going to 106 megahertz. It's a very crackly radio, I'm afraid. But if you can hear that sound. Change track. Just going to pick a different track. So hopefully that proves to you that that actually works, the FM side of things, which is great. It's very poor crackly. It's an old radio. I do apologise for that. But it shows you the principle. And I've used it in cars and it is very, very good. Good enough, in fact, to have phone conversations.
Calling Verena Emmett, mobile.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to the audio because you're...
That's whatever you're on now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm using the phone's microphone and the audio coming through the actual speaker. So it's not perfect.
It's really clear.
That's really clear, is it?
Yeah, very clear.
Okay, that's good. All right, so that little bit's passed. We'll move on to the next stage. Thanks, Lovey. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Okay, so that worked. I think it'd be better if it was all connected to the car stereo, which you would do normally. And I don't know if I'd be using it as the CarPlay device personally. I think I'd be using it for its DVR capabilities and the rest of it. But having it built in, and it does work very well. So on an older car, it's going to be brilliant, isn't it? Because you don't have to worry about, if you only got a single DIN head unit and you can't put anything else in your car, what a brilliant way of upgrading it. So that's definitely something to think about, for like, what's it, $109, about 80 quid. You can upgrade your car to Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Really, really easy. Now, the last thing I want to do is I want to temporarily rig the camera at the back so we can go out and take it for a drive and just see what it's like. So we're going to get that done now and then we'll come back. Okay, what I want to do now is I just want to show you, here's the camera. I brought the cables up over the sun visor and temporarily we're coming at the rear window and I'll fix the camera, the rear facing camera like that with using double-sided tape. It's the best we can do for a temporary setup. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you out for a ride and we'll see what it's like when we get, when we've been for a little ride, so you can see the quality of the video footage. Okay, so we're going to go out now. Let's go on the DVR anyway. That's what we're interested in. We've seen CarPlay working. I've got things conflicting with each other now, so we'll just take it out, go for a little drive, so you can see everything, how it's working, and hopefully let's just go out and see how this works. So we'll just take him down around the block a minute. So obviously looking at the front camera, that looks quite nice. And the rear image ain't too bad either, is it? We're not gonna go very far. I just want to drive enough for you to be able to see what's going on. And the front dash cam looks fine. There's a big windscreen on this car and that certainly is taking in the full view. You can see the corners at the bottom of the dash, so you know how wide the screen is, the viewing angle. And the rear camera looks a little bit darker. We'll examine the footage properly. Because if you're going to have it in a camper van or something, that's going to be the most important one. So if I was to do that, that's the front screen, obviously. And if I do that again, that's the rear screen. So let's just drive with the rear screen up a minute. Shame I've got it upside down. I'm a bit of an idiot there, aren't I? But it is just temporarily stuck as well. You would hope that you could flip the image. And we will have a look at that. I bet you that's in the app and we can't connect to it, but we will see if we can do that when we get back. Well, even outside, I'm not being able to connect to this Wi-Fi on the CarLink, so there is something definitely going wrong. I'm going to try and find out if it's maybe a firmware update or something like that, because it certainly didn't work like this when I was trying it with the unit I had on the bike. Well, here we are again. We're back. We're probably about 8 days since the last time I spoke, where we were having troubles connecting to the app in the car. Well, I've had quite a lot of communications with Seicane technical team, and I think I've been speaking to various different people, because one person told me there was an issue with the communication on Wi-Fi to the app. Now, the other guy told me that I was doing it wrong. He told me that I needed to not connect to CarPlay or Android Auto to be able to use the app. Well, for me, that's pointless, because what are you getting this for? Because you want to use CarPlay or Android Auto. So, just to test the very last bit, I decided that what I'd do is we would get the app installed on an Android phone just to try it. So here it is on the Android phone. So I'm going to add the camera. Hopefully you can see that. You're looking down on it. So you can see that that is now connected to Android Auto already. So it's not going to connect. So what I have to do is I have to come into Android Auto, and I have to disconnect. So when they connect to the Wi-Fi, but the problem is it keeps on going back to, you'll see there, it's disconnected. We'll connect to the Wi-Fi to add to the camera, but the problem is it will fight and it goes back to Android Auto. It does this with Apple CarPlay as well. So I've come to the conclusion, if you want to take images off, pop a memory card out and put it in your PC that way. I think it's going to be the easiest, most successful way, because no matter what you do, it keeps on connecting, doesn't it? And if you turn off Bluetooth, it doesn't make any difference. Anyway, so that's a sort of downside to it. That's not working, but that doesn't, for me, take away how good this device is. So we're back here, and I've got to be honest, apart from that niggle, I like it. I've said it earlier, I do like it, but I found a few extra little bits, guys. And I can't go right through to the end because I've not managed to find any more. However, if we go into the settings, go into firmware version, and if you tap on firmware version, you come into the secret menu. Now, I've tried 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all ones, all zeros, we'll try all nines. So, all nines. And I can't get in, but I presume if someone can get in there, and if you do, please tell us the code down below and we'll all go in and have a look. I'd imagine that would probably give us an ability to do a little bit more on this. Anyway, that aside, what do I like about it? It works really well. It feels quite slick. It's nice. What don't I like about it? I don't like having the strap on with these rubber bands. I really don't like that. That's, for me, that is frustrating. But as I've told you, you can get connectors on AliExpress, and I will try and find them if I can, they will be down in the description. Also, there doesn't seem to be a way to customize it. I've tried, long presses in between, but whatever you do, you always end up, there's no menu. You can no matter what you do, it doesn't seem to be any way of customizing the screen. Now, when I say customize the screen, I just mean change the colors, really. such a simple thing, you know, the wallpaper. If you could change out wallpaper, it'd be something, wouldn't it? It really would be something. But you can't. So, in my honest opinion, I've used the Wolf Box and I've used this one now. I think this is equal to the Wolf Box, a lot cheaper. However, the Wolf Box I was using was a lot older version, so obviously technology's got better, so it does get faster. Would I buy it? Yeah, I think I probably would. Like I said to you, the next camper van we get, because we're in the process of trying to sell ours at the moment to buy a different camper van, I think I'd mount this and have this as the rear view camera. I don't know if I'd use the CarPlay. I might do, depends. But I'd definitely use it as a rear view camera, so you could sort of look a bit more factory in there. But you do have the ability to use CarPlay as well if you want, if the stereo you got doesn't use it. So all in all, I think it's a pretty good unit. So there you are. Seicane Dashcam Rearview Mirror. I think it's all right, really. Yeah, so that's it. If you've enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate it, and it really helps the channel grow. Anyway, until the next video, guys, we'll see you later. Look after yourselves. See you later. Bye.